Hello everyone, my name is Harsha Raghvena, and now we are continuing forward in our anatomy series of abdominal cavity. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about stomach related to its external features, the surfaces, orifices, sphincters, as well as the parts of the stomach and the stomach bed. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the blood supply of the stomach and the venous supply and the lymphatic drainage. So, blood supply of the stomach uh, is actually originating from a single trunk that is present on the lesser curvature of the stomach, and that central trunk is known as the celiac trunk. This is the celiac trunk, and it gives rises to three major arteries, which is the left gastric artery, the splenic artery, and the common hepatic artery. So the three branches of celiac trunk are left gastric artery, the splenic artery, and the common hepatic artery. These are the three branches of the celiac trunk. Now there are further sub branches of these arteries. So firstly, the splenic artery further gives smaller arterioles or smaller arteries which are spread throughout the fundus part of the stomach, and they are known as gastric arteries. Then the common hepatic artery further gives three branches. One is the proper hepatic artery, second one is the right gastric artery, and the third one is the gastroduodenal artery. So the three branches of common hepatic artery are right gastric artery, proper hepatic artery, and gastroduodenal artery. Further, the gastroduodenal artery gives two more branches. Further, the gastroduodenal artery gives three branches. One is the superior pancreaticoduodenal artery and the right gastroepiploic artery. The two branches of gastroduodenal artery are superior pancreaticoduodenal artery and right gastroepiploic artery, while the splenic artery further gives branch which is known as the left gastroepiploic artery. So, the central trunk, which is present on the lesser curvature of the stomach, gives rise to three prominent main arteries: the left gastric artery, the left gastric artery, the common hepatic artery, and the splenic artery. There are further sub branches. So, the common hepatic artery has three branches: right gastric artery, proper hepatic artery, and gastroduodenal artery. Further, the gastroduodenal artery has two branches: superior pancreaticoduodenal artery and right pancreaticoepiploic artery. Further, the splenic artery has a single branch of left gastroepiploic artery. This is how there is distribution of the arteries and their sub branches present in the vicinity of the stomach. So the form of flow chart: stomach has two curvatures, lesser curvature and greater curvature. Lesser curvature has celiac trunk. The celiac trunk gives three major arteries: left gastric artery, we have seen above, splenic artery, and common hepatic artery. वैसे ही the greater curvature has splenic artery through the posterior of the stomach and left gastroepiploic artery. Further, then the proper hepatic artery and the gastroduodenal artery. Proper hepatic artery gives rise to right gastric artery, while gastroduodenal artery gives rise to right gastroepiploic artery. So, what is actually the arterial supply or the blood supply to the stomach? So, the lesser curvature of the stomach is supplied by the left gastric artery, that is a branch of celiac artery, and the right gastric artery, which is a branch of proper hepatic artery. So, over here the lesser curvature of the stomach is actually being supplied by the left gastric artery and the right gastric artery. Left gastric artery is a branch of celiac trunk and right gastric artery is a branch of common hepatic artery. Clear? Then the greater curvature. The greater curvature of the stomach is being supplied by the left gastroepiploic artery, that is a branch of splenic artery, while the right gastroepiploic artery is a branch of gastroduodenal artery. Look over here. This is the greater curvature. So it is supplied by the left gastroepiploic artery, which is a branch of splenic artery, and the right gastroepiploic artery, which is a branch of gastroduodenal artery. Clear? So this is the arterial supply. Okay, one more thing. The fundus of the stomach is supplied by 5 to 7 short gastric arteries, which were branch of splenic artery. These are the fundic arteries. These are gastric arteries. Clear? So this is the arterial supply. Next is the venous supply. So the venous supply over here in the diagram it is mentioned. The right and the left gastric vein. Okay, this is the right gastric vein and this is the left gastric vein. So right and left gastric vein will drain into this portal vein. This is the portal vein. So right and left gastric vein will drain into portal vein. Whereas the right gastroepiploic vein, this is the right gastroepiploic vein, which is going to drain into superior mesenteric vein. It is going to drain into superior mesenteric vein, and the left gastroepiploic vein and the short gastric veins are going to drain into splenic vein. Okay, so here these were the splenic vein and these are the short gastric veins and left gastroepiploic. So the right and left gastric veins drain into portal vein. The right gastroepiploic vein drains into superior mesenteric vein, whereas the left gastroepiploic vein and the splenic and the short gastric vein will drain into splenic vein. So this is about the arterial supply and the venous supply, in short the blood supply of the stomach. Further, the lymphatic drainage. So the lymphatic drainage is studied on the basis of particular areas which is divided into. So there are three areas divided. One is area A, the area B, and the area C. So area A is the upper part of the left one-third portion. This is the upper left one-third portion which is marked as A. So the upper one-third left portion, upper part of left one-third portion drains into pancreaticosplenic node. There are pancreaticosplenic node which are present over here. These are the pancreaticosplenic nodes present. And this node further will get drained into colic lymph node, into colic lymph node. See, this is the colic lymph node over here, and lying along with the splenic artery. So this is the area A, which is the upper one-third part that is draining into pancreaticosplenic node, and which is further draining into colic lymph node. Second is area B. This is the area B, and area B is draining. Area B is the right two-third. This is the right two-third portion of the stomach, which is draining into the left gastric nodes. It is draining into the left gastric nodes. These are the left gastric nodes which are present over here. And that left gastric node is further draining or into a celiac lymph node as same as the pancreaticosplenic node. Then area C, which is the lower left one-third part. This is the lower left one-third part that is termed as area C. And that area C is draining into right gastroepiploic lymph node, which is further draining into subpyloric node, and then into subpyloric node. So this is the area C, which is draining into right gastroepiploic lymph node, which is further draining into subpyloric lymph node. And last, that is area D, which is the pyloric part of the stomach, is draining into different directions and into pyloric hepatic gastric node to reach the ceiling node. So lymph from all the areas of the stomach directly drain into celiac node. Important. This is about the lymphatic drainage, the blood supply, arterial supply, and vein supply of the stomach. In the next session, we'll be seeing about the histology, and with that, the stomach as an organ will be completed.